Plants and Tings. What it do, girl?
Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and welcome to Plants and Tings.
Oh, it's Kayla. Hey, look, she hit 1,000 subscribers.
Does anybody else purposely fog up their bathroom for their tropical plants?
Roots ready. That's my boy Lithius. He's solid right there.
What is up, my planting people? My name is Lithius. Welcome to Roots Ready. Today's the weekend and today is my plant chore day. So I'm hoping to share that with you guys today. On the camera is my sister.
Claumania? What are you doing out here? And wait, what happened to you?
Hey, wait, man, get your hands off me. But yeah, I got jumped by some thrips.
By some crips?
Nah, man, I said thrips.
Oh. But why though?
Man, what was you even at? You know, we was at that club last night and I had the VIP section. You know, high humidity, bright and direct light. And I was shining on them, and these thrips was hating on me from the sideline. They caught me out in the parking lot.
But damn, did you at least pinch the bitch? Cause from here it looked like you got your
Man, stop playing and let me in the house. Damn.
Well, I'm gonna let you in because you don't need to be out here looking like this. But you can't be around other plants.
I don't care about them. You just go in there and get some of that Neem oil.
It's called Neem Oil, fool. So today I want to talk about plant pest. And then, immediately after that, I want to end things off on a positive note and show y'all some updates on a couple of plants that are doing well. The growing season is among us, and as soon as it gets warm wherever you live, these plant pests are seriously gonna come out to play. But first things first, relax. You gotta relax. There's really no need to freak out. A lot of you watching this, it's probably been at least a couple years that you have been caring for plants, and I'm pretty sure you have your own game plan and your own preventative measures. So this video was just to kind of remind you that, hey, it's time to bump up those preventative measures. Like if you have a Milsbo cabinet or some plants that are kind of hard to get to, it's time to take those out and start checking them out. Like check your plants, look at the top and the bottom of the leaves, and it's that time. So this is my third grow season, and every year I've dealt with plant pests, and I'm going to talk about 4 different plant pests that we all know: Mealy Bugs, spider mites, Thrips, and Fungus Gnats. Those are the only ones that I've experienced indoors, so we're going to talk about those. And this is my third go around. I've dealt with them. I used to go crazy at the beginning. Soon as I started bringing plants into my house, I was experiencing plant pests. And all of them are now, I would say all of them are a lot easier to deal with. Because at the beginning, when I first started experiencing plant pests, I was going crazy buying stuff on Amazon. I was buying, Bonide, Captain Jacks, and insecticidal this and that, and I wasted my time, buying those things because I honestly forgot who I am. Look what God did. God said, "Let there be oil." I've always had oils around my house. Oils are a big part of my culture. So, you can go down to Crenshaw and you can get all of the oils that your heart desires. I started using essential oils instead of using all of these chemicals and insecticidal this and that. And it has worked really well for me. So, I'm going to show you what I do. And I'll tell you, the star of the show is the real neem oil. Hold on. 100% pure virgin neem oil. I have a lot of oils around my house. You know, I got jojoba. I have like a designer Chanel fragrant oil, peppermint oil, vitamin E oil. I use these oils every day. And, you know, my second go around dealing with plant pests, that's when I realized, like, hey, I need to utilize what I already have, what I'm already used to, what I'm already knowledgeable about, you know? So, yeah, neem oil. A lot of people might say that neem oil doesn't work because they probably have been buying some type of pre-mixed product. I purchased a product on Amazon that was named neem oil. It wasn't neem oil. It was not neem oil. It was a joke. That's exactly what it was. Because if you look at the ingredients of this product, it's less than 1% of neem oil extract. So neem oil extract is not even really neem oil. It's like they did some type of process to pull out the flavor and the smell of the neem oil, but it's not even the actual neem oil. So, I mean, if you hear somebody say, oh, neem oil doesn't work, it's because a lot of these products that you buy online or that are pre-mixed, it's not neem oil. You want to get something that says 100% pure neem oil. That's very important for me to let y'all know, because this product, it says 99.1% other ingredients, and legally they're not obligated to tell us what that 99% other ingredients are, you know. So that's a little bit dangerous because, hey, look, we got kids in our house, we got pets in our house. You want to know what you're spraying on things that are going to be in your house. You feel me? So let's talk about these plant pests, and I'm going to talk about them in order from the least hated plant pest to the most hated plant pest. So first up, mealy bugs. I don't really have a problem with mealy bugs. I've experienced mealy bugs a couple of times. I had a Hoya that had mealy bugs on it. I put it outside, I sprayed it off with the hose. I left it out there for a couple months and it was okay after that. When I brought the plant back indoors, I just poured peroxide water into the soil, and we still have that plant. It's actually right here. The Hoya Crimson Queen. The second time that I've dealt with mealy bugs, it was a huge infestation. I had some type of variegated Aurelia plant or something like that. And, you know, it was variegated, so it had the white on there. And I didn't know that, like, it was all of these little white fuzzy, they were tiny little white fuzzy things all over the plant. And I thought that the plant just had some type of fuzzy feature to it. But once I found out that they were mealy bugs, because they look different compared to when I dealt with the Hoya, because they were just a lot smaller. Yeah, so when I found out that they were also mealy bugs, I took the plant out of the pot, cleaned off all the roots, and I actually got like a big bowl, and I used half peroxide, half water, and I dunked that whole plant in there, and I was just swishing it around. So I was like cleaning the roots off in that peroxide mix. I was cleaning all the leaves off. So I just kept it submerged for a while, took it out, I repotted the plant, and it was fine after that. So mealy bugs, for me, they have been like a one-hitter quitter when it comes to treatment. So next we're going to talk about spider mites. I don't have too much of an issue with spider mites. They can cause significant damage to a plant. But my first experience with spider mites was when I bought this plant right here. I bought a Ficus tunica. So this plant kept getting spider mites. And the first thing that I was doing was I was mixing alcohol with water and I was wiping down the leaves. Mind you, when I first got it, it was a really tiny plant. And I was just wiping down a couple of the leaves that it had with alcohol and water. the very next day, the spider mites will come back onto this plant. And then I will wipe it down again with alcohol and water. And then that's when I started to notice that the alcohol and water was actually drying out the leaves. So I try not to use alcohol anymore now, because what's happening is spider mites will puncture the plant and, you know, suck the sap out of the leaves. So if a plant has open wounds on it from spider mites and we're using some type of soap or alcohol, it's going to get into those open wounds and dry the leaf out, you know? So yeah, I was having trouble and I didn't really have a good understanding. But soon as I got neem oil on a napkin and I started to rub the leaves off and kind of coat the leaves in that neem oil, the spider mites were gone, and literally this plant just started exploding with growth after I started to put neem oil on the leaves. So when it comes to alocasias, my alocasias, they got spider mites, but I already knew from this plant that I need to rub neem oil on there. So you have to understand that spider mites, they're not insects, they're mites. So something like systemic granules, if you put that in the soil, it's not going to work. Systemic granules work on insects, they don't work on mites. So that's not going to work. So if you're putting systemic on your alocasias, it might work against thrips and actual insects, but it's not going to work against spider mites because they're not insects. And the thing about spider mites, they're in like the Arachna family, so they build webs. These webs, they will build on your leaf and they can lay eggs in those webs. And if you know anything about bugs or spiders that build webs, the webs are kind of made out of a plasticky material that is liquid resistant. So if they're building webs on your leaf, you can't just spray it. You have to manually get like a napkin or a cloth and manually like wipe it off. And you want to coat the leaf in something that is oily, I would say. Yeah. And that will kill the spider mites and it will protect the plant. And somehow every time I do that, the plants like it. Alocasias like it. The only thing that's an error on my part is when it comes to alocasias, I will wipe the leaf down with neem oil, but soon as a new leaf grows, I may forget to wipe that new leaf down with neem oil. So there's a chance that I can get the spider mites again because the new leaf doesn't have that layer of protection on it. You feel me? So that's spider mites. Make sure that you manually wipe the leaf down. Oh, okay. So spider mites, I do have palm trees down here and they get spider mites. So I remember what I did. I had some leftover liquor and I mixed that with water and neem oil. And I don't even know why I put the liquor in there. There was no need to do that. It was just leftover. Maybe I just wanted to throw the bottle away. So I sprayed I sprayed my palm trees down, and then hold on. I would get 2 napkins and put neem oil on both sides, and then I would get sandwich the fronds and wipe them off. And I did that to all of the fronds, and hey, my palms have like a layer of neem oil on them and they're doing fine. They don't have spider mites, and they're doing fine other than me underwatering them. So I'll probably have a few brown tips, but no pest on them. So we're good in that department. Spider mites, they're easy. Keep a layer of neem oil on your plants and it will protect you from most of these plant pests. So next up, we're going to talk about thrips. I don't freak out when it comes to thrips. Thrips are a little bit more serious, so they are the next one on the list. And the thing that makes them more serious is that you have to deal with 3 different stages of that plant pest life. So you're dealing with the eggs. Thrips will lay eggs into the leaf, and you have to manage that. Then you have to deal with the larvae. So those skinny little yellow worms that they travel really slow on your leaf, you got to deal with that. And then you have the adults that actually fly around and lay those eggs on the leaf or on the stem. So you have to deal with them. So it's a little bit more serious. So if you know anything about the real neem oil, you know that if it's below room temperature, the oil is going to solidify. It's going to be solid. So you got to run some hot water over the outside of the bottle so that you can kind of liquidize it, or you can pop it in the microwave for 5 seconds. So all the ingredients that I'm using is this water, neem oil, and a little bit of this Dawn. You see that duck on there, and y'all seen that commercial where they was cleaning the ducks off that had all of that motorboat oil on it and stuff. Dawn is what I choose to use. But look, listen, I do not want to make a soapy mixture. I'm only using enough to mix the neem oil in the water, to emulsify the neem oil in the water. So what you do is get you a spray bottle. Hold on. This is like my spray container. And you want to fill it with water all the way to the to the top. Fill with water first. I'm not going to put oil in here first because it's going to stick to the bottom and it might not mix as well. And then I'm not going to put soap first because as soon as I put the water on top of the soap, it's going to overflow with suds. So you fill it all the way up with water first. And I did use warm water. Next, you're going to get 100% pure neem oil. And you want to put like 2 capfuls, maybe 3. Because I want this mixture to be fairly oily. But not too much. So like I said, I've already kind of like liquidized it. That's enough right there. Then I'm gonna put a very little soap. And we're gonna mix that. It should be very cloudy and yellow. And then when you use this, you want to continue to shake and spray, shake and spray. Okay, so next I'm gonna do a treatment on this Syngonium. Nothing is wrong with the Syngonium. This Syngonium does not have thrips. So we're just going to imagine that this Syngonium has thrips. I'm not going to repot it because what happens is if your plant has thrips, the eggs of the thrips are inside of the leaves or maybe the stem. Soon as those eggs hatch, they're going to feed on this plant, and then they will fall down into your new soil. So there's no need to put new soil because if the eggs are inside of this plant, and they're just going to fall down into this soil anyway, especially if the neem oil kills it, it'll fall down, or if it finishes eating on your plant, it's going to turn hard and fall down, and then that's where it will go through the pupae stage and fly out as an adult. So there's really no need to change the soil. You might want to just treat the soil. So treatment, you take your plant to the bathtub or the sink. Just showing y'all how I do it. You want to get like the spray feature on the nozzle. Tilt that plant over, and then you're gonna just for a good while you're gonna just be spraying this plant down. After you finish spraying it down, you get this neem oil solution, and you're gonna spray the back and the tops of the leaf. So after you do that real good, what I do is I use my fingers, because sometimes if I use like a cloth, I can tear the leaf. So I'll use my finger to really smooth that neem oil solution into the leaves. On the back of the leaves and the bottom, I just want to smooth it all over. I want to make sure it's all over the stem. And then, you know, once you do that real good, you want to take that neem oil solution and you're going to water your plant with it, because you want to be able to use the neem oil solution as a systemic. So you can spray enough to where it gets down to the roots, or you can open this bottle up and just water the plant with this neem oil solution. Enough for it to, you know, drip out the bottom. So that's how I do a treatment on the plants, and it actually really does work for me, and it's safe for the plant because I'm not using anything harsh, and I'm not using anything that's going to dry out the leaf while it is already compromised. So look, now that I have treated this plant for thrips, I sprayed the neem oil, it's in the soil. The most important thing is every time that it's a watering day, or every time that this plant needs to be watered, I'm going to do this whole treatment again. Spray it with the water, and then spray it down with the neem oil solution, and water the plant with the neem oil solution every time that it needs to be watered. So the consistency is the key to really breaking the cycle of the thrips. So what I'll do every morning to protect my plants is mist the whole collection down with this peppermint distilled water mixture. So one thing you have to understand that most insects, or you know, especially flying insects, are most active in the morning at sunrise and at sunset. So either one of those times is when I'm gonna go ahead and mist my plant. But what I want to do is, sometimes my room does have a higher humidity, so I'm gonna turn my fan on and I'm gonna oscillate the fan, you know. And that is my time where I'm gonna check out my plants, I'm gonna prune my plants, and then I'm gonna mist them down. And this whole room is gonna smell, it's gonna be like a peppermint bomb. Like when you walk in here, it's gonna be like walking into a damn candy cane or something, you know. But I'll go ahead and I'll, you know, inspect all of my plants, look at the top and the bottom of the leaf, and then I'll mist the plant down fairly well, the top and the bottom of the leaf. I don't have to really drench it. So that's how I treat for thrips. As far as, you know, this plant that has thrips on it, I will stop treatment after a couple of new leaves grow out of this plant. Once a couple of new leaves grow in good condition from this plant, then I just may cut this leaf off because it's permanent damage. I'll cut it off, and then, you know, any affected leaves, you want to cut them off and get them out of your house. Throw it in the trash outdoors. Do not throw it in the trash and keep it, you know, inside your house, because you don't know what can fly into the air and get out. And another thing that comes with thrips, I gotta do better. Sometimes I do leave my back door open when I'm going in and out, and you know, it's about to be springtime, all kind of bugs can fly in the house, you know. So next up, my most hated plant pest is fungus gnats. I can't stand fungus gnats. And you know, the thing is, fungus gnats are not gonna damage your plant or really affect your plant, but they affect my personal life. I can't stand fungus gnats. It's a problem for me. I try to get rid of all of them, and it's my life. Like, you could have a nice young lady at your house, or somebody who you trying to Netflix and chill with, And if you look up, it'll be like a fungus gnat like busting backflips on the top of her lace front. Like, it's an issue. I remember I had like a business meeting, and you know, I had like these business people sitting in my living room, and we going through paperwork, and they swatting stuff out of their face, and like that's a big issue for me, because I work hard to have like a nice place to live, you know. And it's very inhospitable if you got people come over your house and you have like flying bugs that actually go into their face, because it's a difference. You know, everybody's gonna have flying insects in their house, but fungus gnats, they circle around and get all in your face, and they try to go up your nose and all of that kind of stuff. So that's a really big annoyance for me, and it's a big issue for me. And they're actually fairly hard to get rid of if you have soil plants. So when it comes to my plant room, I can get rid of fungus gnats fairly easy. But it's the fact that when I come downstairs, I have huge pots of palm trees and all kind of other plants. It's kind of hard to get rid of. But the treatment that I do for fungus gnats, and it is fairly effective, especially when I eradicate them in my plant room. You buy these little what are these, like, I guess what, culinary bags, like culinary straining bags, and then you get mosquito bits. A lot of you may be familiar with mosquito bits, and they tell you to pour it all over the top of your plant, and when you water, you know. But you know, mosquito bits are made from like, it's like little bits of like a corn husk material, and it's soaked in a bacteria that will eat the fungus gnat larvae. So what I do is I get one of these, and I'll fill it up halfway, and I'll get like a big bowl of warm water, and I'll take the bag that's filled with the mosquito bits, and I'll let it steep into that water for 15 minutes, or sometimes I'll let it steep for 8 hours while I'm at work or what have you. After you steep that, you want to pour that water into your watering can and water as many plants as you can. As many as you can. And I use this twice. Like, after I steep one batch, I'll steep another batch with the same bag, and then I figure that whatever is on this mosquito bits is probably used up, and then I'll make another fresh batch of it. And one thing I did notice that it worked when I made that mosquito bit tea. I noticed the difference after 2 or 3 days, I would say. I'm like, oh, it's like less fungus gnats flying around here, and then soon there wasn't any more. The only thing is, you know, maybe like a month later, or you know, a couple weeks later, you can kind of get another fungus gnat into your house or whatever. So it's easy to treat them, because you don't have to do mosquito bit treatment like all the damn time. But hey, it works, and I'm gonna be using this. As you can see, I've been using a lot of this new batch that I bought. Another defense is to top dress and bottom water. So the tea together with the top dress and bottom water, the people who do semi-hydro, you probably don't have to worry as much about fungus gnats. They can still get, you know, they can still breed on the top of your leca and all of that, but for the most part, you guys won't have to deal with it. So I top dress with this dried Spanish moss stuff, because it's airy, air can flow into the pot, but fungus gnats don't like it. I noticed, like, if a fungus gnat is flying around, it is not trying to land on this stuff. It's not trying to crawl through all of this stuff. And I got this at the dollar store, the preserved dried Spanish moss. So that's that. Okay, so the first plant that I want to give y'all an update on is this crystallinum. This Anthurium crystallinum is going crazy right now. Look, one new leaf, it ain't even finished yet. 2 new leaf. Can y'all see back there? 3 new leaves. And it is a leaf right here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 new leaves that are trying to develop all at the same time. This is crazy. This plant just exploded. So I'm happy about this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to propagate this soon, but it's doing well. And if you look at my previous videos, you know how I care for this. I use purified water, or I use treated water on it. Fertilize very little, and that's crazy good growth. So that's my Anthurium crystallinum, the regular crystallinum. So the last plant I want to show y'all is this Philodendron white knight. So if y'all remember, I cut this plant. You can actually see the cut right there, and it was just, you know, these 3 little solid green leaves. And you know, I wanted to propagate it so that I can try to pull out some more variegation, and that's exactly what happened. Start getting some white on the leaves, and it's doing well, and it's putting out new growth, and it's happening fast. Like this leaf just unfurled, and this one is coming close to unfurling also. So yeah, I feel like this plant is about to go crazy and just get big. This is the Philodendron white knight. So that is all that I got for y'all today. My name is Dave, by the way, after all of that. Yeah, be sure to subscribe to my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, aroid.district. And you know, shout out to all my subscribers and all the YouTube people that I subscribe to. I really enjoy y'all content, and it's just a joy to me because I'm able to get back into like a creative zone and make these videos. It's actually really fun. It's a good chapter of my life. So I appreciate everybody. Everybody stay blessed, and see you on the next one.